Look, I know it's been 2 weeks. I haven't posted in about 2 weeks. I've been visiting family. I've been busy with family stuff, doing other stuff, but I'm back, and it's going to be about dropshipping here in Australia. And as you can see from the title, yeah, so in revenue I did about just over 22k on their store. It's a one product store, and I'm just going to get straight into it because I'm going to tell you guys some really important things about what I learned. Now, before I get into this, I'll show you a screenshot just to show you guys that, you know, I'm not actually joking here. So you can see that it's just about 22 grand over in revenue, and that was basically on one product. I swapped it out here and there, but I only ever had one product on the store. I initially ended up staying with the teeth cleaner. If you haven't seen it, go and check out my other video which I actually show you what the product is as well. So I stuck with that, and I just made sure that it was safe, and I made sure, because the reason behind me getting rid of it at the start was because I thought it wasn't safe. I thought it could damage people's teeth, but from what I saw it was actually okay. And I've looked at stuff like product liability insurance and that, which will most likely be getting very, very soon for the store anyway, because I'm looking to I'm planning to basically scale this store, you know, as much as I can. And as well, I will show you just really quickly, just for this month. So the majority of this revenue has come from this month here, so that's just over 16k in revenue for that. Just so you know, I'm not lying to you guys, you know, just in case if any were wondering. So 16.2k, that's actually really, really good. Now, profit out of that, if you guys didn't know, was it's usually around 30%, sometimes closer to 35% as well. So my highest in profit for 30 days is probably about 4 to 5 grand, which is more than, you know, what I had done in the past. But, you know, like I said, I've been learning you know, drop shipping and all that, and Facebook ads and whatnot for like the last year and a half. So for it to finally start working, you know, methods starting to actually show themselves to work, it's actually really, really cool to see. I'm actually going to talk to you guys a lot about what I've learned, because I've learned a lot from this in terms of, you know, scaling ads, in terms of orders, in terms of, you know, better systems and all that. So I'm going to go through with you guys what I've learned and just talk about what I would try and focus on or stay away from if you're looking to start this. Because just so you know, this store here, if you didn't know, it was an Aussie only store. It's a one product store. I'm only selling to Australians. I'm only advertising in Australia. I'm only selling to Aussies. And I made sure that the shipping was pretty decent, and I'll talk to you guys a bit about that in a second. But for now, I'm going to go through these notes that I have here on my phone, and because I wrote them down so I don't forget them, and I'm going to tell you guys, you know, talk to you guys a bit about what I've learned and, you know, what you need to look out for if you're going to start a one product store. Because I think it's really, really amazing the one product store starts. So let's get straight into it. So first and foremost, one product stores actually work really great. That's the that's my first dot point that I've got here. Just so you guys know, if you are looking at starting, I would most likely, what I'm thinking of doing with this store, is adding a couple of other products and maybe do it to like a sort of a narrow niche store instead of like a general niche store. If you're just starting out, I would actually recommend you guys to get into one product stores, because what you're doing is you're basically building out one funnel, say one Facebook ad, one product page, and it's just basically a whole website dedicated to one product. And if you do a website that isn't specific to your product, you can actually change that product. So if the product doesn't work, you can change the product, then you can advertise again, and you can just keep testing. And you don't have to, you know, build a whole other website and put a whole another product, and then if that one doesn't work, you know, you have to rebuild it all from the ground up. It's way easier to do that. So I would recommend one product stores. They're a great thing if you're a beginner as well, because it's a lot easier to focus on advertising and, you know, your marketing and everything for one product than, you know, a general niche store where you've got like 50 plus products. It's way easier to do that. So second thing I've noticed is don't sell really cheap gimmicky products. Now I hear a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I hear some people saying, you know, don't sell from AliExpress. All their products are crap. You know, everything is cheap, Chinese manufactured stuff. There's actually a lot of great stuff I found that are manufactured in China, and just because they come from China doesn't mean that they're shitty products. Majority of products that you have laying around your house are from China. You just have to find the manufacturers and the products that actually have high quality, because the teeth cleaner that I got was from China as well, and it's actually very decent. And I've actually looked into more sort of dental products to sell, and there's a lot of high quality ones out there. And you just have to make sure that you're dealing with a supplier that has, you know, high quality stuff. What I did is I ordered a sample from them. I just basically bought one myself, just to, you know, just see what it was like, and it was fine. You know, as long as the product quality is okay, you should be fine. And as well, when I say don't sell shitty products, you need to be selling products that help people. It's the same philosophy when it comes to products that I have when selling on Amazon, dropshipping, even more so. You have to be selling products that are going to help people, that give people value. Don't just sell shitty gimmicky products that are like a fad product, like fidget spinners. I always use that example, fidget spinners. But don't just sell like cheap, crappy products that people aren't going to get a use out of, that aren't going to help people. You're not going to end up scaling that well. You might scale for a little while, you might sell a few here and there, but if you want an actual regular income from this, if you want to actually grow it and you want to scale it just like what I've done, you need to have a product. It all comes down to your product selection at the start, because no matter how good your marketing or Facebook ads are, if you've got a shitty product, it's just not going to work. The next thing is, when you're finding a product on AliExpress, make sure that they can either ship it, because a lot of AliExpress manufacturers actually have people who can ship from within Australia, so it's already stored in Australia, shipped from Australia. If not, make sure that they have your e-packet shipping, they call it, which is just your faster shipping. Make sure that it's 12 to 20 day shipping minimum. A lot of manufacturers actually have this, a lot of suppliers I should say, have this product, that have products that can ship to Australia. That's if you're thinking targeting Australia. I'm just talking about an Australian store because that's what I've done. But if you're looking to sell in Australia, make sure that you have a supplier that can ship in at least 12 to 20 days. It is hard to find suppliers that can ship in less than that. If you want to, say, have 5 to 7 day shipping, then you're going to have to look at direct sort of suppliers from Australia. But if you're just getting started and you want a bit of an easier route at the start, just go and find AliExpress suppliers that can do that 12 to 20 day shipping. And then what I do from there is I just clearly state it on my product page and on my shipping page when people are checking out on my website. Clearly state that it's 12 to 20 days, and yeah, majority of them are okay with it. I don't have any problems there. If you're upfront with your customers, then you should be fine. But make sure you're finding suppliers that don't have 30 to 40 day shipping. Make sure it's at least 12 to 20 days guaranteed, because if it's not guaranteed, if you get it afterwards, then you can apply for a refund and you can actually get your money back from the supplier as well. Now this comes down to selling your product. Make sure that you are selling your product at least 2 to 3 times higher than the cost to buy the product. So let's just say for mine, the teeth cleaner, it cost me about I think around $18, maybe $18.50 to buy. I'm selling mine at about, I think, $55. So with that, the reason I do that is because you need enough wiggle room for your advertisements, for cost of goods and all that, to actually be profitable. When I first started selling it, I was selling it for about, I think, $24 to $29. And even though I was getting some sales here and there, this was like in the very, very early stages of scaling this product, I wasn't profitable at all. I was barely breaking even, and I thought, look, there has to be a better way to do this. So I increased, my scaling, and I really, really dug deep into my Facebook ads. And while I did that, I upped the price of the product, and I thought, look, maybe it might not sell for this price, but I'm going to try it anyway. So had a look at competition. There were other people selling it for like $60, so I'm like, hey, why can't I sell it for that much? So I ended up selling it for about $55, and yeah, it's doing well. So it gives me enough wiggle room now to actually scale my ads. And if some ads don't do as good as others, and I end up spending more that day on ads, I've still got wiggle room for that product, and I'm still profitable on that day. So make sure that you're selling your product for at least 2 or 3 times higher than what you buy it for. As well, this is a very, very important one. Make sure that you are keeping on top of your Facebook ads and your orders. I'm going to do 2 in 1 in this point. Make sure you're keeping on top of your Facebook ads and your orders. First thing with your Facebook ads, make sure that you're checking it at least every 2 days. I usually check mine every 2 to 3 days. Make sure that it's profitable, and make sure, especially in the scaling phase at the start, when you've got, let's just say you've got 6 different ad sets, so you're targeting 6 different interests on Facebook. Make sure that you're checking it, make sure that it's profitable, make sure you kill the ones that aren't profitable, because if you just leave them going in the hopes that they're going to start becoming profitable, then you're just going to start losing money. And you have to, and that's another point that I'm going to be talking about in a second as well, about losing money with Facebook ads. But you have to make sure that you're on top of it. You have to make sure that it's profitable. At the start, let's just say you first launch your ad when you've got your product there. You can leave it for 3 to 5 days, see how it goes, and then you can start scaling from there. But if you've started gaining momentum in your orders and you start slowly scaling, then you really need to be on top of those those Facebook ads to make sure that they're still profitable. As well, keep on top of your orders. Make sure that your customers are always happy, because what you want to do is just be on top of your orders every night. Every night I go through and I order products from the last 1, maybe 2 days, and I just get it done at the end of the day, and then by the next day after I wake up, it's basically already shipped and I can notify my customers. So I just make sure I go and actually order the products to send out to the customers every day. You need to be on top of that. Now, continuing on with the order stuff, make sure that you have a proper tracking system with your orders. There's apps that you can get on Shopify which actually help track your orders, and then I have a order track page on my website. So basically the customers can put their order number in and their email, and they can actually go to a tracking page as well. So that's very, very important. Make sure that you have some kind of tracking for your products, because you are going to get people ask. The more that I'm selling, I've basically the most I've gotten to at this stage is say maybe 20 orders a day, which comes to like just over $1,000 in revenue. I think it might have been a bit over 20 orders, but you will get, once you get to that stage, you will be getting people emailing you asking if they have a tracking number, or where their order is and all stuff like that. If you've got a tracking link for them, you can actually check it yourself, and then you can email them and send them the link as well. Or you can basically have an automated system where it gives them the tracking link automatically as soon as they buy it, so then they can actually track it themselves. It's very, very important to do that, because it keeps customers happy, it keeps them notified, keeps them in the know. Because if they're spending $50+ on your website, you need to make sure that their orders are being tracked, so that make sure that it validates in their mind that they're spending this much on their site. They're being taken care of, they're not going to ask for a refund as well. Even if you've got a good quality product, just gives that people that peace of mind if you have that tracking system in place. Do another 2-in-1 here. This is about Facebook ads as well. Make sure that you scale slowly with your Facebook ads. What I did when I first started, I did about maybe $20 to $30 a day for my Facebook ads when I first started. When I first started the Facebook ad for my product, basically what I did is I just went straight to purchase ads, and I scaled slowly. I found out what was profitable, and I went from $20 to maybe $40 or $50, and I went from $50 to $70, and I went from $70 to $90 and all that. So I went maybe like $10 or $20 up as a whole, for the day. What you don't want to be doing is, let's just say you're profitable at $20 a day, all up. You don't want to go from that to $100, or you don't want to go from $20 to $200, because you don't know if it's going to be profitable that day. So let's just say if you're profitable on the $20 day, doesn't guarantee that you're going to be profitable on the $200 day. That's why you have to scale slowly, gradually, and you have to keep an eye on your Facebook ads, because it's not just going to be an automatic thing where it's just, if it's profitable one day, it's going to be profitable the next. That's why you need to scale. That's why that's the hardest thing about Facebook ads. You need to learn, you need to look at the data, you need to see what's working, you need to adjust, and make sure you go up slowly, just gradually. You don't want to just jump from, like I said, $100 a day, $100 a day, $100 a day. It doesn't work like that. As well, second point of this is you will most likely lose money with Facebook ads. Now, if you didn't see my last videos, when I was trying to scale old products, like products that I'm not selling anymore, reason is I'm not selling them anymore is because I lost money on them. I was getting to the point where I'd lost like $1,000 on ads in 1 month, and of course that was down for me. I was like, I'd gotten like 5 sales, spending $1,000, and that obviously wasn't profitable at all. And at the time I was really down about it, but what I didn't realize back then was it was actually a huge learning curve for me. I was learning stuff about Facebook ads. I went back through, I looked at other videos, I talked to other people, and I just started learning it. I started doing it, and then the most that I learned about Facebook ads was when I was actually doing it myself, and I was actually learning how to scale, and I was looking at the data. I was losing money here and there, and then something would work, and then I'd stick with that, and then I'd learn off that, and you keep learning as well. But you have to know. That's why I tell everyone, maybe you can start off with about $200 to $300 when you're first starting dropshipping, because the majority of that is going to go towards your Facebook ads, and you will most likely lose money at the start. You have to be prepared to lose some money with Facebook ads, especially when first starting, because you're not going to be guaranteed you're going to start up off the ground running, and start selling and start being profitable. It doesn't work like that most of the time, unless it's sort of clicked, all of a sudden for a beginner. But most of the time for a beginner, you're going to lose money, and that's all as a part of learning. So you have to, it's something that I have to make sure I tell you guys as well. You most likely will lose money when first starting this, but don't let it discourage you. It's just all part of the learning phase, and you will start learning how to sell more, what's working with your ads, what's not working with your ads, pricing, product pages, all that kind of stuff. biggest thing is just go in there and do it and keep learning, because at the end of the day, if you stick with it like what I did, it took me a year and a half to get to this point. You know, I might have taken it a lot longer than other people, but that's just how I learn. I got to learn by making mistakes and doing it, and now I can start, you know, I've got a method here that's actually working, and then I can start scaling and building off that and repeating it, you know, and replicating it and doing it again. So, you know, don't let it discourage you. You just have to get in there and try it, and you know, if you fail, just get back up and try it again. Okay, last one I'm going to end on is make sure that you have a cart recovery system in like an email sequence for your store. So basically what that means is if someone leaves an item in their cart, you will send out an automatic email that says, hey, you left something in your cart. Then you can leave another one that says, hey, look, here's a discount. Just something to entice them to come back, because even though I've got, you know, this month I've got just over 16K in revenue, the last, I think, 30 days, or as a whole, maybe the last 30 to 60 days, I've lost about 4.5 to 5 grand in abandoned carts. So, you know, just think if I added that 4 to 5 grand onto my, you know, it'd be an over 20K a month store already. But that's just something, like I said, that I'm learning as I go. But I did have a car recovery, you know, system put in, but I need to review it and go back to it and really refine it and see why people aren't recovering their carts. If there's another reason or whatever, I need to go and check that out. But that's something that I'm just going to tell you guys. Make sure that you have some kind of cart recovery system in place. Like I said, you can get Shopify apps for that stuff, or Shopify have their own. You can just type in what you want. You can do up discounts, you can do whatever you want in your store. It's very, very easy to set up. Lots of tutorials out there as well, but I'm going to leave that one there, guys. This video's probably gone on way too long, but they're basically some of the main things that I've learned from growing a store to just over 16K in revenue a month. So, and you know, just a little over 20K, it's like 22K all up, which is really, really awesome to see. And I just want to you know, teach you guys as much as possible as well. And I don't have a course on anything, like I said before. I don't have a Shopify course or anything. I'm just showing you guys as I go. I might do a course. I've been asked to do, you know, a Shopify course for Aussies already by multiple people, but I might do something down the line. But for now, I got to work on, you know, this stuff here, refining it, make sure I've got methods that work. Then I might look into something like that as well. But I hope this video helped you guys anyway. If you have any questions on dropshipping at all, I've got my Facebook links down below, my Instagram. You can just go ahead and message me or comment on this video. More than happy to help. But apart from that, guys, hope you guys got a lot of value out of this one. I'll see you guys very, very soon.